Welcome back to Combust Astrology. I'm going to be covering the new moon in Capricorn. This is a pre recorded video. Let's go ahead and hop into it. So, during Scorpio season, when we had the new moon, full moon cycles, specifically when we were having it in Scorpio, the emphasis on that new moon feeling was the purge. It was about actually getting everything that no longer really worked well for you and just releasing it, right? Back when it was sun and moon in Libra, I said have fun, enjoy, because we're going to have a lot of stuff that we're going to have to worry about later on in the year. So enjoy it, be the single person player game mode, and do what you got to do for yourself. Scorpio, we had to start that purge during Sagittarius with the retrograde of both Mercury and also having Jupiter retrograde and also having Mars starting its retrograde. All of that entailed that you dream and revise, or I should say, revise and then dream. You really had to think, you really had to ponder, you really had to really analyze where you were at, because once you purge, once you throw all the old clothes away, all the old stuff away that you don't need, you have empty space. And empty space is a beautiful place for you to actually think. Having no thoughts, it's very, very hard to not think, especially when you're in an environment that's cluttered. Ergo, that's why we had to do the purge. So now that you've thought a lot, realize maybe you've gotten a lot of short sighted stuff happening your way. I said in my videos to consider moving forward how it is that you're going to play January 11th. I know there's retrograde in Cancer and all the Aries stuff later on in the year, but that January 11th is my big ticket item. How are you going to enter into that delusion? And before you enter into the delusion, we want to actually crystallize it. We want to have a plan. And that's where this new moon in Capricorn, that's what it's all about. Because at the end of this full moon with this, it's like, did you take the necessary healing steps when the moon is entering into Cancer? Did you take the necessary steps to heal you, to give you the foundation that you were looking for here with sun and moon? So to me, although I know the year doesn't really start till Aries season, and it's going to be a pretty explosive Aries season, March 12th through the 29th will be the most insane 10 days of this year. April will also be insane, but those 10 days, we have Venus going from Pisces into retrograded Aries. If I remember correctly, we got at the end towards later on in that month, we're going to have Mercury retrograding Virgo, a whole lot. Saturn, the North Node is going to be at 0 degrees moving over. There's a whole lot. But before the storm comes in, I want you to be ready before everyone else. It's not a competition, but everyone right now, whenever this video gets uploaded automatically, is either enjoying Christmas or enjoying the new year. I don't know. But they're not focused on what you know to be an amazing asset, which is astrology. I'm not saying lock in and hustle in that sense, like, no, but it's the game plan. It's setting the year of 2025 and actually putting it down into quarters, having Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And this isn't financial. This could be like, I want to go to Italy at the start of the year, or I want to have naps consistently for 20 days in Q3. Like, it could be whatever you want, but this is a really good use to get that all started because it's an intention. So to me, the new year really starts on the 30th. When you solidify the energy that you want to step into next year, it will be so much easier for when January 11th comes around and we see um, when we see the nodes change. It's It's no joke. I've been like watching a lot of astrology. I've been like indulging in a whole lot of really amazing things with the astrology, and I have got to say, next year is going to be one of those years where it's better that you don't try to keep up with everything. There's such a thing as too much. So in order to really ground the best way that you can, you need to have a practice in place. Pallas Athena conjunct the sun, conjunct the moon, is having a beautiful practice of self teaching. For me, I'm doing Tibetan um, throat singing. I'm also going to be practicing. I'm going to be finding ways to ground in that way myself, using this chart's energy in my own personal placements. I can't tell you exactly what to use for you unless you wanted a reading, but I'm not trying to upsell my own service. I'm telling you genuinely, this earth sign is a really good indication that it has to be something that grounds you. There is this T square between Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter. Why is that important? It is what I see as absolutely paramount next year. When we take the energy of this chart and say your self and your emotions have to be on the same scale, they have to see each other. That's what a new moon is. When you're planting that seed, you are aligning your emotional intention with your actual energetic, let's just say, your actual intent. This could be feminine and then masculine. You're just aligning the two together to say we are going in parallel to one direction. So the rest of you, in order to make that statement true, has to essentially find that balance. When I look at this T square, I think to myself, the real thing here is the fact that it's the irony of faith and discipline and or having organization altogether. You have Saturn, lack of faith, requires a lot of discipline over time. You have Pisces, hella faith, requires little to no discipline, wants to get things how they are. Then you have Sagittarius, eh, we'll have some discipline, but is really aiming to just kind of go from 0 to 1,000 without spending 1,000 years. Then you have Mercury. I need the data. Mercury into, oh, I want to take way more data than I need to. Then into, oh, I need to have faith. So this is the real balancing that needs to be done going into next year, which is why I'm saying it's probably one of those years that you don't want to keep up with everything. Because if you let this become a determining factor, it's like, how are you going to be sane? How are you not going to come across as what people call spiritual psychosis if you're just gouging in tons of information? We use Google so we can make life easier. I know the whole everything that is circled around, like whatever, but we use that resource as a way to not get sucked into the infinite vortex of knowledge. It's a tool. I want you to really walk with that next year because the tools are good. They help you. Besides the control aspect of who control, whatever, they help you. So let the astrology help you. Focus on the main transits that affect you, right? The shifts in the outer planets, the nodes, the retrograde Venus and Mars. That's it. Jupiter and Uranus. That's it. Don't obsess over every little opposition and everything. Just take a deep breath and stay grounded. Pluto, North Node. Focus on what you need to do to make your life better. Start the year off strong by probably staying to yourself. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, it's been an amazing pleasure to be with you guys in 2024. My name is Liv. I hope to see you in 2025. Take care.